Grinnell Capital is a boutique asset management firm based in Park City, Utah.
Good morning. My name is Frank Grinnell. I've been investing in the stock market for over 20 years. It serves as my day job, and most importantly, it is my absolute passion. On Street Views, I offer my daily viewpoint on the stock market in under 7 minutes. I will cover things like the global macroeconomic picture, the mood of the market, company-specific news, secular trends with some actionable sector and stock calls. I hope my insights are useful to you, whether you are a professional money manager or a passionate investor. At Grinnell Capital, we share high-conviction ideas with subscribers, and we actively manage stock and ETF models for financial professionals and their clients, as well as individual investors. For more information, check out our website. Before we get to today's podcast, be sure to hit subscribe. And now, today's Street Views.
Hey, good morning. It is Fed Day, Wednesday, the 14th of December, 2022. Looking back at yesterday, CPI day, lots of promise on the open, and the end result, not really bullish. We mentioned the SPYs had to hold, and I'm looking at the chart right here, had to hold this 107.50 level, the downward trending trend line, and no, not even close. So we got a nice gap up. As you guys know, after the spike in the market, saw a lot of supply. Very little demand as the market gave up almost all of its gains at one point and then kind of clawed its way back a bit to stay, I guess you could say the glass half full case here is it is right on its 200-day moving average. So maybe, who knows, we get a bounce. But yeah, this downtrend line has just been so important. Such a driver of upward resistance for the S&P 500. Every sector was under distribution with one exception. Any guesses? Oil service. Oil service was the one section, and distribution versus accumulation on a single day, I define by just the close above or below the open, right? If you get a close above the open, you've got accumulation that happens during the day. Pull up a little 5-minute chart on the OIH. Here's where it opened. Trading during the day, closed higher. That's the only sector or subsector that did that yesterday. Energy didn't do it. XLE, broad energy didn't do it. So within that, Schlumberger, good looking chart. Halliburton, another really good looking chart. Both of those had nice days. We do own Halliburton here. So yeah, that's it. So not based off the action yesterday, it would be hard to see a strong rally into year end. Today's Fed Day, so we'll see what happens. My hunch is Powell does have to continue to talk relatively tough about the future prospects for inflation. It feels like the economy is still relatively strong, but definitely weakening. If Powell comes out too dovish, he runs the risk of the equity market taking off and monetary conditions easing as a result. Then inflation has a chance to make a comeback, and that's not what he wants. He really is a student of kind of that 70s, 80s time frame when inflation was just so sticky. So I think he's going to be pretty measured. I think he's going to be pretty cautious, and definitely not going to be ringing the. I don't think he's going to be ringing the victory bell. Could be wrong. We'll see. One of the sectors we spoke about recently, med device, had a decent day yesterday. Didn't have as good of a day as oil service, but you see this, we did have a gap up, and actually the trading action was pretty confined to that higher level, which is good. Didn't trade back down to the previous day's close or anything like that. So IHI still looking good for new money. Still like it. Like the thesis going into 23. We talked about it at pretty good length the other day. And that's what I got. So be back tomorrow after the Fed, see what happens, and go from there. Have an awesome Wednesday. Good luck out there.
And now for some important disclaimers. This podcast is intended for financial professionals only. Grinnell Capital LLC is a state-registered investment advisor located in Utah. Services offered by Grinnell Capital can only be offered in the states of Utah, Idaho, California, and Texas, where Grinnell Capital is registered or where otherwise legally permitted. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. For additional information about Grinnell Capital, including its services and fees, please review the firm's disclosure statement as set forth on Form ADV and available at no charge at advisor.info.sec.gov. This podcast is provided for informational purposes only. The information contained herein should not be consumed, construed at the provision of personalized advice, and is subject to change without notice. This material should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell any asset or engage in a particular investment strategy. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss, including loss of principal invested, and may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This podcast contains certain forward-looking statements which indicate future possibilities. Actual results may differ materially from the expectations portrayed in such forward-looking statements. As such, there is no guarantee that any views and opinions expressed will come to pass. All expressions of opinion reflect the judgment of Grinnell Capital, LLC, as of the date of publication and are subject to change without prior notice. This podcast contains information derived from third-party sources. Although we believe these sources to be reliable, we make no representations as to the accuracy of any information prepared by any unaffiliated third party incorporated herein and take no responsibility. Therefore, this podcast is provided with the understanding that Grinnell Capital is not engaging in rendering legal, accounting, or tax services, and we recommend that you seek out the services of professionals in these aforementioned areas. The principal investment focus of the accelerator model, the strategy, is to achieve long relative and risk-adjusted returns, primarily by investing and trading securities issued by companies that focus on the global information technology, consumer healthcare, industrial, and infrastructure sectors. These sectors are characterized by robust secular growth potential and an abundance of both new and maturing product cycles, a field of competition that creates the potential for relative winners and losers within a subsector or theme, a high degree of revenues and earnings volatility, rapidly changing sentiment and public perception, significant yet unrealized potential for globalization and superior relative liquidity. Investment in the strategy is speculative and involves a high degree of risk. The second investment model is called the ignition model. The ignition model is an all-exchange traded fund, ETF strategy, with an investment objective similar to the accelerator model. This model seeks to capitalize on long-term growth trends experienced by the market leaders in various areas and sectors. The ignition model will also seek ETF investments based on cyclical forces experienced in the U.S. and the global economy. This model is also designed to have the ability to offer some risk aversion in the event of significant market stress through investments and ETFs designed to take advantage of market volatility. The strategy's performance can be volatile. Grinnell Capital, LLC has total trading authority over the strategy. The use of a single manager applying similar trading programs can mean a lack of diversification and consequently higher risk. For more important disclaimers, please visit our website, www.grinnellcapital.com.